guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. So let's just get right into this video, shall we? I wanted to do a book tag video today because when it's a Saturday and you don't have anything to do except for go shopping with your good Judy Tanya, which I'm about to do in just here in a couple minutes. My husband is in Chicago for the weekend, so it is me and my dogs. Bachelor weekend. It's PP and Peter's bachelor weekend. But anyway, I wanted to do a tag video, and I was just like going through some of my favorite people out there, and Katrina the Little Book Owl is one of my all-time favorite booktubers. And I noticed that she had done this like months ago, the first date book tag, and I even had to go back and look and be like, did I ever do this book tag? Which I haven't. So I am gonna do the first date book tag. And yeah, let's get right into this. I haven't read the questions except for the first one, and I was like, oh, that's good. So I don't have any of my answers, so just bear with me, and I'm gonna have to like, go with it, okay? So number one, okay, the awkward first date. A book where something felt off. It wasn't a bad book, but it lacked that spark for you. Okay, so, you know, it's interesting when I do these book tag videos because they're very much have, like, my answers are very consistent with what I've read, like, in the last 6 months. So for me, that book would be probably... Well, I'm going to try to say something different. I was going to say Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo, but I think I'm going to say Benjamin Eilier-Stein's The Inexplicable Logic of My Life. I love his writing, and I loved the book, kind of. I mean, I loved it because he wrote it, but it seemed off to me. It seemed forced. I mean, there were so many deaths in the book, if you haven't read it yet. I mean, it's truly like grief overload, and he's just a better writer than that, and it just kind of really felt off to me. I was like, what, this doesn't, I don't know. It didn't feel right for me. So that would be my answer for the first question. Number two, The Cheap First Date, a book that turned out less than you expected. Well, let's say, I mean, it would be those two, Six of Crows and The Inexplicable Logic of My Life. I will also say Windfall by Jennifer Smith. I haven't finished it yet, but like I expected so much more from it. And I was really excited, like let's say in the first 50 pages, but like literally 50 to like 150 kind of went downhill. And I'm like, you could have done so much with this book, and it may turn around and be completely amazing, but like, I was really excited about it. Like, every video that I do, there's one word that I always use, like super, I'm super excited, or like. But you know, like when you, you know, when you read a book and you see it in the bookstore and you're like, okay, so I have said, like, I can't get out of my head. That used to drive my dad crazy when I was a little kid. But you know, when you like see a book in a bookstore over and over and over again and you want to buy it and then you buy it and then it doesn't meet your expectations. Okay, that's what's going on with that one. So number three, Well Prepared First Date, better than expected. Oh, definitely The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I would also say, let's go back to some of my all-time favorites. Let's say, one of the books that never gets talked about in BookTube, that's one of my all-time favorite books, is Love Letters to the Dead by Ava DeLaria. It is, such an incredible book. I loved it so much. And also Colson Whitehead's The Underground Railroad. I mean, it won the Pulitzer last year. I think it won the Pulitzer last year. It totally deserved to. It was incredible. Okay. Number four, Hot But Dumb. Pretty book, not so hot on the inside. Oh, that's a good one. Oh my God. Well, Six of Crows is beautiful on the outside. I mean, the cover is gorgeous, isn't it? But like, no, I mean, it was good. It just wasn't that great. What's a book that I've read recently that I just didn't love? See, this is where I need to have my like Goodreads open, but it takes so long. Do you guys, are you on Goodweeds? Are you on Goodreads? I need to pick my weeds from my front yard. That's probably what I'm thinking. Go follow me on Goodreads, and I will, or go find me on Goodreads and I'll accept it. Okay, let's go and see everything that I've read. XO Ox. No, that book is beautiful on the outside, but I love it. See, it's just spinning. Oh, there it is. It comes up. Okay, let's see. Okay, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I thought the cover and the pictures were absolutely gorgeous, but the book I was not thrown out with. Okay, like that book was just, it was okay at best. I don't understand all the hype over that book. Number five, Blind Date. Book you picked up not knowing anything about. So again, let's go into my Goodreads and let's see a book that I didn't know anything about. Okay, Goat, a memoir by Brad Land. It is a memoir about a kid it's a true story, that was hazed in a fraternity. And I think it's at Clemson. His brother was there too. I had no idea. They've made a movie out of it, I think with James Franco, which I haven't seen and I want to see. I didn't know anything about the book. I was at Half Price Books. I saw it there and I was like, oh, this is a short read. It looks good. I'm going to get it. And I absolutely loved it. It was so good. It was so tragic to read, but I thought it really showed fraternity life less glamorized than we see a lot of times in movies and pop culture. So I thought that was an important read. Goat by Brad Land. Let's see. Speed Dating, book you read super fast. A book that I read super fast. The Spiderwick Chronicles, does that count? Yeah. I read the Spiderwick Chronicles, the first and second one, literally sitting right there on that couch and probably in a half an hour each. And I think they're really, really cute. I haven't finished the whole series yet. I think I've read the first 3 and I have 4 and 5 still to read. Or they're 6 or 5. I have like the last 2 or 3 to read. But so the Spiderwick Chronicles sitting right there. I really wanted to get into like middle grade books again and read like the John Bellairs because I read those when I was growing up and all that stuff. But you guys, are so many like young adult contemporary books that I want to read. And now one of the things I love, what's this? Lunge. I'm working out. I also have a weight loss channel. Go check it out below. And a daily vlog channel and a main channel. Anyway, what was I going to say? There are so many of these young adult books now that are kind of like horror novel young adult books. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like Friday Nights at Freddy's and The Final Girls and all that stuff. That there's all these books that I want to read that are kind of spooky, scary, strange, that I don't want to read stuff from middle grade that's kind of like that when I could read something that is more relatable to me. Young adult is more relatable. I mean, kind of. Let's see. I read a lot of adult fiction as well, so. The Rebound, number 7. A book you read too soon after book hangover and it kind of ruined the book for you. Well, I think okay, so this isn't like immediately after, but I read My True Love Gave to Me, edited by Stephanie Perkins, and it's a holiday anthology. And it came out at Christmas time or, holiday time in December. And I read it like literally over the holidays. And like I think I finished it like on the 3rd of January or something. And I really, really liked it. Like there really wasn't a story, really. There really was really liking super. There really wasn't a super liked book. No, there wasn't a short story in there that I didn't like enjoy reading. But then I turned around that summer and I got Summer Days and Summer Nights, the follow-up anthology, and I just couldn't get with it. Like haven't finished it and I've had it for 2 summers. So that would be mine. Let's see, number 8, Overly Enthusiastic Date, a book that felt like it was trying too hard. Do you notice that all of these are kind of negative? All the questions are kind of negative books. A book that was trying too hard. Ugh. Well, I've talked a lot about this book on this channel, but I can't even pronounce the author's name, but because I get it wrong every time. But the book, This Is Where It Ends, about the school shooting, literally there was somebody from every different diverse background, and it tried so hard to be something that it wasn't, all just towards the message of school shootings are bad, which I think we already know. I thought the book was almost kind of dangerous. And I just felt like it tried way, way too hard to be something that it was never going to be. And I thought it would have been actually, a lot of people say you criticize that book, but you don't ever give any suggestions. Okay, well, this is what I think. I think it would have been really more interesting had it been done from one point of view. I think, if you had just done the book from somebody that was trapped in the gym with the shooter or something like that, but to tell it from so many different points of view, for me, it felt trite, and it felt like it was pushing it and it was forcing the message on the reader, and it was almost too much. It was overwhelming a little bit, right? Had she not done that, I think I may have enjoyed the book a little bit more, because it would have shown a character study of what it's like to be in that situation instead of 6 people and let me throw this message at you. So it was definitely something that tried too hard for me. Let's see. That is question 8. Number 9. The Perfect First Time or Date. Book that did everything right for you. Oh, gosh. Well, I loved Will Grayson. I mean, it just was like such a feel-good book, you know? And back when I first started reading young adult, there were a couple books that I read right away that just like really meant so much to me. Will Grayson. I have to tell you, Boy Meets Boy, I think is a great book, but it was not my favorite David Levithan book. I also loved, Paper Towns by John Green. I hated the movie, but the book to me, I just felt, I liked that even more than Fault in Our Stars. I thought it was like a kind of a good mystery. I thought it was, I don't know, it just, and I liked that angsty teen character. I also love Robin Schneider's The Beginning of Everything, and that book doesn't really ever get talked about either. And like I said, Ava DeLaria's Love Letters to the Dead. Absolutely fantastic. And you know, I thought she was supposed to put a new book out like 3 years ago and she didn't. Okay, but here's my number one answer. Are you ready? Dumplin' by Julie Murphy. That book changed my life. It really taught me how you can write about realistic characters that have realistic feelings, and you don't have to make a character that's always likable to the reader, but you can tell the truth and people will still like the book because the book is so profound. So Dumplin' by that. Oh, and The Hate You Give. I mean, The Hate You Give is just, I mean, can we not talk? People that pan that book, I just do not understand. I'm like, did you read the same book that I did? Like, that book was profound, okay? Even if it didn't have any cultural reference to what's going on in our society today, the character, like, all of it was just absolutely fantastic. I thought it was just so well done. Okay, and then the final question, humiliating first date. Book you're embarrassed to admit you liked, embarrassed to see reading in public for whatever reason. That's interesting because I don't really get embarrassed a lot to read books. I will say that sometimes when I go to the library and I go to the young adult section, like if I go to like the JA section of the library or whatever, like nobody questions it because they're like, oh, he probably has little kids, he's getting picture books. Like that's, do you ever script things in your head? That's what I imagine they think. But maybe they're not even thinking that at all. Who knows? But like when I go to the young adult section, they always kind of look at me, especially like if I ask, like I'm like, oh, do you have this book? Like, do you have, you know, I don't know, the Cassandra Clare, this, blah, blah, blah. They just kind of look at me like, I don't know, let me check. And I'm like, why? I'm not embarrassed of that, but I don't understand the stigma that adults can't read young adult and enjoy it, because I love young adult. And maybe that's because when I was a teenager, there weren't these great books of young adult out there. I don't know. Books of young adult. There weren't these great young adult books out there. I mean, we basically read V.C. Andrews. That was as good as it got. But I still love V.C. Andrews, even though she's a fake a minute. She wrote the first series, and that was it, I think. So anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm not going to tag anybody in this video because nobody ever does the tags when I tag them. So, except for Cam at Wolf Shop Publishing. Hey, Cam, how are you? And Dylan, the Reader 5, does my tags too. Anyway, I think that's it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Bye.